This is Mindy Beck, and I'm here today to tell you about the differences between how the Amish and the Mennonites dress. The purpose of today's talk is to tell you the difference between the different hairstyles, clothing, and even the beliefs behind what the Amish and the Mennonites wear. So how many of you guys spend at least 10-15 minutes a day trying to decide what to wear? Does your closet, do you have multiple choices in your closet and it's hard to decide what to wear today? Well, that's not exactly a problem that the Mennonites and the Amish have. They wear similar clothing day to day. They have a lifestyle of simplicity. The clothing, the hairstyles, their whole reason is to dress with simplicity. Of brims and bonnets from the daily report, it was mentioned that the differences between Mennonites and the Amish is they live simply but do not completely separate themselves from society like the Amish do. Liberal Mennonites dress like everyone else in the world, and according to Maureen Smith from Cura.com. The liberal Mennonites have similar attire beliefs to the modern day society. And we move on now to the men and the Amish. We'll start with them versus the conservative Mennonite communities. Men on a normal day in an Amish community, based on an article, The Amish Clothing by the Amish Village, they wear black colored suits that are fastened with a hook and an eye and have no outside pockets. And the Amish Village article on Amish clothing also said that their trousers have no zippers. Instead, they use button and flap, and they use suspenders to hold their pants up, since they are not allowed to use belts because that is not considered simple. The men choose different clothing for church. They wear a white shirt with a black coat and vest. And according to an Amish Village article in the Amish Village, also says bow ties are common with their church suit. Now, what do the conservative Mennonites wear? On a daily, according to Molly Thompson, an article in Mennonite Customs and Traditions, they wear similar dress to the Amish, however, they have less rigid rules. They wear very plain clothing, can wear fabric with small prints, so not plain, they can actually have small prints, and they can have zippers. Their clothing is still biblically, they follow biblical standards, very modest. Not only do the men in the Amish and conservative Mennonites communities have particular dress, but so do the ladies. What do the Amish and conservative Mennonite communities wear? Amish women's wardrobe is very small and simple. They do not have a large selection to choose from in their closet. They have 4 dresses. One for dress, one for wash, one for wear, and one for spare. And that was according to the Amish Village, an article website. They allow practicality, and it reduces the choices that need to be made every day. Women make their own clothing by buying fabric in the stores, and they sew at home. According to the article in Amish Dress, women wear solid colors, dresses with full skirts and long sleeve shirts and a cape. Based on the article in Amish Clothing, women wear white cape and apron that are simple colored dresses until they're married, so the white capes if they're not married, and once they marry, they wear black capes. In terms of footwear, the women typically go barefoot around the farm, but for church and for outside the house, they wear black shoes and stockings, and occasionally the conservative Mennonite women even wear boots, black boots. According to the article in the Mennonite Customs and Traditions, Less Bound by Rigid Rules Regarding Clothing and Other Lifestyle Choices by Molly Thompson. According to the Mennonite Customs and Traditions, even the conservative Mennonites are not as relaxed as the liberal Mennonites. Conservative Mennonite women are allowed to wear floral patterns, small and colorful clothing as long as they remain modest. Another difference between the Amish and the conservative Mennonites women dress is they are able again to wear zippers. In an article in the Mennonite Customs and Traditions, the author mentions that they're not only permitted to wear fabrics and small patterns, prints, but they also can have zippers. Women are not allowed to show bare feet, are only allowed to wear closed-toe shoes for the conservative footwear of the Mennonites and Amish. Black boots, again, are very common for the conservative Mennonite women. Along with the Amish conservative Mennonites, specific clothing that they must wear, there's certain hairstyles and headwear rules also. Communities have specific hairstyles based on the daily record of brims and bonnets, based on 1 Corinthians 2, that says the men should have their heads covered in prayer and the women should cover their heads. So the men uncover during prayer and the women should have covered during prayer. The hair is also discussed in the passage of the Bible which says the men's hair should be short and the women's hair should be long. The Amish women have specific rules to follow when it comes to their hair and what to do with it. According to the brims and bonnets, on the daily record, the women do not cut their hair, and they start from a young age wearing it up in a bun or a simple hairstyle. They have to keep everything simple. According also to brims and bonnets, the women and girls wear prayer coverings. Most of the time when they are not wearing their prayer covering, they wear a kerchief on top. To be able to differentiate between the married and the unmarried women of brims and bonnets states the unmarried girls wear white and the married ladies often wear the black capes. That's how you can tell the difference between if a lady is married or unmarried. Of conservative Mennonite groups, or brims and bonnets said women wear similar head coverings which are pinned in varies style and shape. Of brims and bonnets states that the head coverings have shrunk to size slightly larger than a silver dollar. And many Mennonite groups have chosen not to wear head coverings at all. Like the women, the Amish men also have strict ways that they have to wear their hair as well. Brims and bonnets states that the men wear their hair in unassuming hairstyles like a bowl cut. Says that the longer the man's hair, the more conservative the group is. Beards in the Amish men are generally not trimmed, but conservative groups will never trim their beard, according to the Daily Report. The men also wear hats most of the year. Although men wear hats most of the year, they would never wear it in church, and most of the time they would wear it indoors. In the summer, they wear straw hats for working outside. The church and formal occasions, the men wear black felt hats. By evaluating these two groups with our research, we are just trying to inform you of different ways that you can tell without asking if a group is Mennonite or Amish. And so if you see someone out in the community, you would be able to distinguish yourself whether they were a part of the Mennonite group or the Amish. Basic modesty and reverence for both of them. They like to keep simple, and the communities, they value their connection to simplicity. And thank you so much.